Hi everyone, welcome into our 2019 NBA Draft Preview. I'm Daniel Sallerson alongside Pelicans.com writer Jim Eichenhofer. We're reunited. We're not in front of a fireplace as we usually are for fireside chats, but I feel like this is a great opportunity to talk, Jim, as the draft is a couple days away. And boy, I know with the number one pick for the Pelicans, I'm certainly excited about what could come on Thursday night.
Yeah, I remember when we talked about near the end of the regular season how excited people were for this offseason, maybe more so than whatever was happening on the court in March and April. It's incredible what's happened in the last couple months as far as the changes that have occurred and then winning the lottery in the middle of May. So, I mean, it's been amazing, and I know that this draft night is going to be just a continuation of how excited people are about next season.
You're right. A ton of offseason changes, including David Griffin, Trajan Langdon, Swin Cash, Aaron Nelson, a ton more. But, of course, on lottery night, a 6% chance of getting that number one pick, and you do. And there's, of course, a ton of top prospects that the Pelicans will have their eye on at number one, but we have to start with Zion Williamson from Duke.
Yeah, I mean, a guy that people were excited about him going into college, going back a couple years. He was in every viral video from his high school career, and then he really lived up to what everyone's high expectations were, the way that he played at Duke. So I think one of the reasons that people are even more enthusiastic about what he's going to be able to do in the NBA is that they know that he has a lot of upside in a lot of different areas where he can improve. I think he showed over the course of just his freshman season that he got better in a lot of different areas. I think he's underrated in some aspects of the game. Everyone talks about the flashy stuff, but just learning more about him as we get closer to the draft. Seems like he's a really good defensive player, has a lot of good anticipation, comes up with a lot of steals and a lot of blocks. So it's not just about offense, but it seems like he can do a lot of different things to help a team win.
Of course, there are some other top prospects at the top of the board that you should keep your eye on, and that's R.J. Barrett of Duke, Zion's teammate, and then, of course, John Morant from Murray State.
Yeah, those are two guys that I think it seems like it's kind of settled when you read different draft analysis. Obviously, we're not experts on the draft. We can't follow college basketball throughout the season because we're so focused on the Pelicans and the NBA, but there does seem to be kind of a agreement that those three guys are going to be the top three picks. One of the things I think that's interesting about this year, too, a lot of people are going to pay close attention to, is that from 4 through maybe 7 or 8, you see a lot of different names shuffling around. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of consensus during that part of the draft in terms of maybe there's a handful of guys that people think are going to go in that range, but there's not necessarily a definitive thing where it's like, okay, this is the order, so who knows what could happen after the top three.
And there could be some shuffling around teams from around the league, I should say, as far as trades are concerned. I remember it was Drew Holiday that was acquired on draft night from the Philadelphia 76ers, Jimmy Butler a couple of years ago from Chicago to Minnesota. So, Jim, who knows what could happen on draft night?
Yeah, I mean, draft night, I think people are excited about it anyways and have been for as long as the draft's been around and how much publicity it gets. But it does seem like in the last few years of this decade, there have been some nights where it was just a league-altering thing where there was a bunch of big moves, and I think for the Pelicans having the number one pick and who knows what else can happen, I mean, I think that's another reason why people are looking at this as could be a really monumental night for the franchise.
We'll have a ton of coverage for you guys on draft night. Of course, Jim will be at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn to cover the draft and, of course, the number one pick. We'll have a live interview with him, and as soon as we get it, I'll be at Pelicans Draft Fest on Fulton Street. I encourage you all to come out at 5:30 p.m. The first 2,000 fans in attendance will receive a t-shirt. There's a chance to win a ton of prizes, including season tickets. We'll have a stage, we'll have bands, and we'll also have a live draft radio show, and it'll be simulcasted on Pelicans.com. So plenty of excitement and plenty of stuff happening on draft night, and we hope you can join us, whether it's on Pelicans.com, but we encourage you to come out to Fulton Street and join the celebration. For Jim, I'm Daniel. We'll talk to you on draft night.